All right, this is going to be the website we're going to create. It's going to be a simple menu that you can go ahead and also open it up with a barcode here as well. On top of that, we're going to have a couple different sections throughout our website, such as the appetizers section, the full meals section, and then the drink section. We're also going to have this nice little drop down here where you can go ahead and select the different sections as well. Awesome. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so in this part, we're going to go ahead and set up the project and create the index.html. Then we're going to go ahead and create all the HTML code for the site. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So first thing we're going to do is make sure that we have all our extensions installed. I'm currently using the live preview, the prettier code, and then also the VS Code icons. I recommend you use these also just to make your coding experience easier. Awesome. All right, now make sure you're in your folder that you want to go ahead and start creating your project in. Let's go ahead and add a new file. We're going to call this index.html. Awesome. All right, I'm going to close that there. Click on it here. I'm going to slide this over, get rid of that. There we go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hold down Shift 1 to get the exclamation point. We're going to hit Tab so we can get our automated code out just like this. This is just the default code. If you don't want this, you can go ahead and just start off with a body in an HTML. That's up to you, but I recommend doing it this way. Awesome. Let's go ahead and change the title to menu. Perfect. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and add some simple things in the body real quick, just for the starting of it. At the top here, we're going to do an unordered list. I'm going to open that up. In the unordered list now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a list item. In the list item, we're going to go ahead, open that up. In the opening tag of the list item, we're going to go ahead and give it a class. We're going to call that class dropdown. Perfect. Awesome. All right, next part. Inside the list item, we're going to go ahead and add an anchor. And for that address of the anchor, we're actually going to use some JavaScript and simply going to do a JavaScript. And then we're going to go ahead, give it a colon. And then we're going to go ahead and do a void. And we're going to pass in a 0 within parentheses. And then we're going to go ahead, still inside the opening anchor tag, we're going to go ahead and give this a class as well. And this class, I'm just going to call it drop and then btn for button, because this is going to be the drop down button. Awesome. All right, and then I'm also going to put in sections because we want to know what we're clicking on. So that's going to be there. Perfect. Then underneath that, we're going to go ahead, pass in a div. Open that div up. In the opening tag of the div, we're going to pass in a class. That class, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to call it drop down dash content. Awesome. Then we're going to add a couple anchors inside of that div. This is going to be each for the navigation of each button. This one here, I'm going to give it a hashtag. And I'm going to do appetizers. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just copy that and paste it in here and give it a capital A for the actual text inside the anchor. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and just copy this entire anchor here. I'm going to paste it right below. And instead of appetizers, we're going to go ahead and change this to main for the main meals. And then change the word here to main meals. Awesome. Or we could do main courses instead. Perfect. Then we're going to go ahead, copy that anchor, paste it underneath. And instead of main, I'm going to change this to drinks. And then a capital D drinks for the actual text. Awesome. All right. Perfect. So far, so good for that. I like it. Let's go ahead and hit the preview button here. If you're not using the preview, then you can go ahead, right click, copy the path of our current file. Don't forget to save it though. So copy path and then paste it on your browser, and you can also see it that way as well. Awesome. I'm going to shrink this a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and do one more section. This is just going to be the welcome section. So underneath the unordered list right there, still inside the body, we're going to go ahead and create a div. Awesome. And in the div, we're going to go ahead and give it an ID. I'm going to make it equal to the welcome section. Awesome. And then we're going to go ahead and simply just put an H1 inside of there. That's going to be the name of our restaurant. I'm going to go ahead and just call it Pizza Mama. There we go. And we're also going to give it a class for that H1 as well. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to call it section header. Awesome. All right, and actually not section header. This is going to be the welcome section header. So let's go ahead and do welcome section text. There we go. That's a little easier to understand. Awesome. All right, so far so good. Go ahead and save that as well, and it should look like this. All right, that's it for this section. All right, let's go ahead and continue. So now we're going to be working on the item section. So let's go ahead and go below our div right here, but right above our body tag. Let's go ahead and we're going to be adding a new div for this section. So let's go ahead, type in div, open it up. All right, so inside this div, we're going to go ahead first and give in the opening tag an ID. Oh, not an iframe, ID. There we go. All right, we're going to give the ID. We're going to call it items dash section. Awesome. All right, now inside of it, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a new div. Open that up. All right, inside that div, we're going to go ahead and we're going to give it whatever section it is. And this is going to be the appetizer section. So let's go ahead, give it an ID. And we're going to go ahead and give it appetizers with a lowercase a. Just like that. Perfect. Awesome. All right. Now inside of there, we're going to add a couple things. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add an H2. And inside of there, simply again, we're going to put appetizers. Capital A this time. And we're also going to go ahead and we're going to give it an ID for the H2. And I'm going to call this ID, we're just going to call it section dash header. Awesome. All right, now below that H2, we're going to go ahead and give it a horizontal line, so HR, just like that. And then below that, we're going to add a breakpoint just to add some spacing. Perfect. Awesome. Now we're going to add the actual section of the item. So right over here, we're going to add a new div. Open that up. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Awesome. All right, now we're going to go ahead and inside this div, we're going to go ahead and give it an image. So I'm going to go ahead, type an image. And what we're going to do is we're going to paste an image here from the web. And all you got to do is just right click on any image in Google and then go to copy address. Make sure you copy the address and then put it in between these two quotes. I already have one copied down. So I'm going to go ahead and get mine real quick. Now, if you wanted to, you also could go ahead and add another one, such as maybe you can add your own image in here as well. So you could drag and drop a PNG or a JPEG, and then you could also just do a dot and a slash, and then whatever name you dropped in here. But again, I'm just going to use one from the web. Go backspace there. Control S. Let's go ahead back here. And it should have popped up. There we go. Perfect. So it's just a simple image like that from the web. Awesome. All right. Let's go ahead and add some more things. So we're going to go ahead and below that, we're going to give it a description. So it's still inside that div. We're going to give it a P for paragraph. And inside of there, simply, I'm going to put mozzarella sticks. All lowercase. I'm also going to go ahead and do a dash and then a $10 sign. Awesome. All right, perfect. And in the opening tag for that paragraph, I'm simply going to put class, and I'm going to make that class food dash item dash DEC for description. Awesome. All right, so make sure you got that down for that section. Perfect. And simply enough, we're just going to copy that whole div section we have right here. So everything about up to here, we're going to copy that. And right below it, we're going to go ahead and we're going to paste it. And then we should have 2 images. And all we got to do is just, of course, change the image and then the name and the price if you want to. So I'm going to do that real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and copy my image I'm going to use for this other one. And this one is going to be pretzel bites. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to take that image source. I'm just going to go backspace like that. Paste it in, Control S. There we go, perfect. And then we're also going to go ahead and I'm going to change the name of this. I'm going to keep the price the same, but I'm just going to change the name. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do pretzel bites. Awesome. All right, looking good, perfect. So that's our whole section there for appetizers, awesome. And we'll reformat it in a little bit, but for now we're going to get all the structure down, all the HTML code. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do another one, and simply enough we can just go ahead and copy the whole div. So not this div because that's per item, but we want to copy the entire thing all the way from here, I think. Or actually we might need to do it all the way from item section, because I think we're going to have multiple item sections for each one. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and copy the item section, which is going to be here. Let's copy that whole section down all the way from there, Control C. All right, and I'm going to simply go ahead, add an enter there, paste it. And if you scroll down, there you go, you should have another section. But of course, we're going to go ahead and change this up a little bit for the second one. So instead of appetizers, we're going to go ahead and we're going to change this to full meals. Just like that, perfect. We're also going to go ahead and change the ID of it because of course we don't want it to be this one. We're going to want it to be, let's go ahead and just call it main, because that's what we did at the top. If you remember, we went all the way up here and we have main and drinks to the bottom one. So we have to make sure it matches those or it's not going to navigate to the right one. All right, so let's keep going. We have main, we have that. Let's go ahead and now change out the images. So let's go ahead. I'm going to copy my images for each one of those. Let me do that real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and grab it here and go back there, paste it in. There we go. That's a pizza. Awesome. Control S to reformat. Perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and simply do cheese pizza for this one. Cheese pizza. And I'm going to put 15 for this price. There we go. And we're going to change the image for the second one now. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, let's grab that over there, paste it. There we go, perfect. And this one's going to be a pepperoni pizza, so let's change the name of that. Whoop. I'm going to highlight this part here. I'm going to go ahead, type in pepperoni and pizza. And I'm going to change the price to 15 as well. Awesome. All right, and I think that should be it for that section. Did we change the navigation? Yes, we did. Everything else looks the same. Perfect. All right, let's do the final section, which is going to be for the drinks. So let's go ahead. What we're going to do is, again, we're going to copy it from the div that's containing the whole item. So all the way down to here. Yep, copy that, paste it right underneath that one. There we go. Now we have another section. Let's go ahead and change this one. We're going to change the name, of course, to drinks, capital D. Perfect. Then we're going to go ahead, change the ID to drinks, lowercase. Awesome. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to change the item image. I'm going to use my one that I used from the web. I'm going to go ahead and find that. There we go. Perfect. And this one's going to be for soda, so let's change this here to soda, and I'm going to change that to $5. Awesome. Let's go ahead, change the other one. Grab the image, let's paste it here. Control S. Looks like it's a little big. We're going to reformat the size of these, so don't worry about the size right now. We're going to go ahead, also change the name. I'm just going to call this T. There we go. And I'm going to make it $5. Awesome. Don't worry about the size. Again, we'll change it. So far, though, looking good. I like it. Awesome. All right, go ahead and save that. Make sure you got each section down and make sure you're at this point as well. Awesome. All right, that's it for this section. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video and serious about becoming a developer, you should totally consider joining Red Fool's Academy. Once you sign up, you will get full access to all of our premium courses, support from myself and the Red Fool Studio team. Our courses include full stack website development, app development, game development, and many more to come. On your first sign up, you get a free 7 days to try it all out. A link will be added to the description, or you can go to the official website at redfoolstudio.com. See you in the lectures. Alright, so in this part, we're going to go ahead and create all the style for our website. Then we're going to go ahead and do a final review. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright, let's go ahead and get some styling on here now. Alright, let's go ahead and scroll on up to the top. Real quick right over here. Awesome. Alright, we're going to be doing this inside of the head. So let's go ahead over here. We're going to add a couple spaces. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and add a couple spaces. Alright, let's go ahead and add the style tag now. Should be this one here. Close it, open it up, perfect. Now we're going to put all of our styles inside of these styles tags. Let's go ahead and start off with the overall body. So we're going to do body. Give it some curly brackets. Inside of it, simply we're going to go ahead and just give it a background color. And we're going to set that to white. Awesome. All right, that's going to be it for the body tag. Now we're going to do one for the unordered list that we have, so UL. Then we're going to go ahead, give it some curly brackets. Then we're going to add a couple things for this because we're making it a list. So we're going to do list type, and we're going to set that to none. All right. Then we're going to go ahead below that. We're going to give it a margin, and we're going to set that to 0, just like that. Then we're also going to go ahead, we're going to give it some padding. And we're going to set the padding also to 0, perfect. All right, then we're going to go ahead, we're going to give it overflow. And we're going to make that hidden. Awesome. All right, last one now, we're going to go ahead and give it a background color. And we're going to go ahead and set that to this one I have here, which looks pretty good. It's going to be 3844D, or one more 4 in there, just like that. Awesome. It's going to be this nice little gray color we have going on. All right, so make sure you got that down. Perfect. All right, now we're going to go ahead and do one for the list item. So we're going to do an LI, curly brackets, open that up. All right, and we're going to do a float left, just like that. All right, perfect. Make sure you got that in there. All right, now we're going to add another tag. This one's going to be for list items and anchors. So list item, anchor, and then open that up. Just like that. Actually, we need the drop down button as well. So we're going to do dot drop btn. Okay, just like that. That was our drop down button. All right, inside of here, we're going to add a couple things. We're going to do display, and we're going to go ahead and set that to inline block. And we're also going to go ahead, make sure you don't bring that with us. There we go. Then we're also going to go ahead and we're going to do color. We're also going to set that to white. There we go. Below that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a text align. I'm going to set that to center. Perfect. Below that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to give it some padding. And we're going to set a couple different pixel ratios to this. I'm going to do a 14 px space. And then we're also going to do a 16 px, which is going to do the two sides and then up and down as well. Awesome. Make sure you have that in there. Perfect. And then we're going to do a text direction or decoration. And we're going to set that to none. Awesome. All right. Should be looking like this so far. Perfect. Awesome. All right, go ahead, save that, Control S. All right, now we're going to add another style. Go below that. We're going to go ahead now and do list item anchor. And then we're going to do a colon and then hover. So when we're hovering over things, we're going to want things to change. So go ahead, open it up just like that. Perfect. You know what we need actually? We're going to need another couple things for this. We're going to need a comma. And then we're going to need to tell which one we want. So drop down. Or just drop down right now. Colon. And then we're going to do hover. And then we're going to go ahead and do a drop down button. Make sure you have all that in there. Should look just like that with the li, a colon hover, comma, dot drop down, and then colon hover dot drop down btn. Awesome. Make sure you have that in there. Then we're going to go ahead and we're just going to give it a background color. And we're going to set that background color to red. Awesome. Make sure you got that there. Perfect. All right, now we're going to do the actual content of the dropdown. So let's go ahead. We're going to do a, what is it? Drop down button. So drop down content. It's going to be a new one. So drop down / content. And then we're going to go ahead, space, open that up. All right, and then inside of there, we're going to do display as none. There we go. And then below that, we're going to go ahead, position, absolute. Awesome. And then below that, we're going to go ahead and do a background color. And I'm simply going to do one that I have, which is going to be a hashtag. And it's going to be F9, F9, F9. Just like that. Perfect. Let's go ahead, open that up. We're going to do a min width. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to set that not to none, but we're going to set that to, let's try 160 pixels. There we go. Below that, we're going to go ahead and do a box shadow as well, just to make it look a little nicer. And for the box shadow numbers, we're going to do a 0 pixel, and then an 8 pixel, and then a 16 pixel, and then another 0 pixel, and then a RGBA value. We're going to set that to a 0, 0, 0, and then this one here is going to be a 0.2, which is going to give it a little nice shadow look to it. Awesome. And then last but not least, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a Z index of 1. Awesome. And if we go ahead, it's going to highlight red. It's not going to show it yet because we're not using it, but that's what we want. See? Awesome. All right, let's go ahead. Below that, we're going to go ahead and do the drop down links now. So we're going to go ahead and do a drop down content and then an A after that. And then we're going to go ahead, open that up with some curly brackets. All right, inside of there, we're going to do a color. I'm going to do black. Below that, we're going to go ahead, give it some padding. And I'm going to set the padding to 12 pixel and then a 3 pixel. Below that, we're going to go ahead, text decoration, and we're going to set that to none. Below that, we're going to go ahead and do a display as block. And then below that, we're going to do a text align as left. Awesome. All right, I like it. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to go down here. Below that style, we're going to go ahead and add another one. Let's go ahead and do that. Simply enough, we're going to do drop down button content a:hover. There we go. Open that up. Now inside of that, we're just going to give it a simple background color. And I'm going to make that a hashtag F1, F1, and I think one more, 3 F's, 3 1s. Nope, that's good. All right, perfect. All right, now we're going to go below that as well, make another style. Simply enough, we're going to do a dot, drop down, button content again, or drop down hover if we have that. There we go, drop down hover. And we're going to do a dot, what is this one? Drop down content now. Open that up. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and just do a display as block. Perfect. All right, looking good. I like it. All right, looking good so far. Let's go ahead and save that. See if this works now, and there we go. Perfect. All right, so now our drop down is looking pretty good. It's highlighting everything correctly. It's also working correctly, if you can tell. We're going to each section we click on. That's exactly what we want. Awesome. Now let's get the rest of the styling up. All right, we'll do that in the next section. All right, let's go ahead and finish up the styling. So we're going to be working on the next one. So right underneath here, still inside these style tags, we're going to go ahead, start off with a hashtag because we're going to be using an ID this time. This one here is going to be for the welcome section. Welcome dash section. Open that up. All right, so we're going to be adding a couple things in here. We're going to be giving it some padding top. And we're going to go ahead and just do a 20% for that. There we go. All right, below that, we're going to go ahead and give it some padding bottom as well. Should be right here. And we're going to go ahead and make that also 20%. Perfect. Below that, we're going to go ahead and do text align center. There we go. And below that, we're going to go ahead and give it a background image as well. And we're going to go ahead and set that to our URL. And that's going to be another image off the web. So I'm going to go ahead and copy mine real quick. You can use whatever one you want. Remember, all you got to go is go to Google Images, right click, go to copy address, and then put it inside of some quotes, just like that. Awesome. All right, I'm going to control save that. Slide that over. All right, looking good. I like it so far. Nice little pizza background. You can use whatever image you want. That's just the one I used. All right, let's keep going. So below that, we're going to go ahead. We're going to do a hashtag. And this one's going to be for the welcome section dash text. Open that up. And simply enough, I'm going to do a font size. And I'm going to make that the extra large. So you can do this one here, but just add another X. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead. And below that, I'm going to do a color. I'm going to make that black. There we go. We're also going to go ahead and do a dash WebKit text fill color, wherever that is. WebKit text, I don't know if it's going to pop up. WebKit dash text fill color, there we go. And I'm simply going to make that white. Just like that, perfect. All right, make sure you have that there. We're also going to do WebKit text stroke. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and make that a 2.2 px and make it black. Awesome. All right, make sure you got that there. And then we're also going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead. We do that colors right? Yeah, we did 2 pixels. But yep. And we're going to give it a font dash family. And I'm simply going to go ahead and use the Ferdinand one right here. Awesome. All right, looking good so far. I like it. All right, we got all that down there. 2 pixel black, WebKit stroke. Let's double check we got everything for that. We did white for that color. We did black for that one. Font size white. Did we make the name correct? That's what I'm wondering. Let's go ahead, double check. Welcome section text. Maybe we spelled it wrong, but I'm just going to copy it to double check it. I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to paste it. Whoopsie daisy. Yep. All right. Wonder if we did. Let's go ahead and just get rid of this and try to do another size. What if we just do it larger? Yeah, it doesn't look like it's changing it, so I think the ID is wrong. So let's go ahead and fix that. We did the welcome section text of that as one of those. That's okay. Let's go ahead. Welcome section text. Oh, it's a class. That's why it's not working. So we're basically not using this because it's a class. So to use a class one, all you got to do is go over here and we're changing the hashtag to a period. And there you go. Perfect. That's what we really want. And what we could do, again, remember we're going to do the extra larger one. So extra large. And if we really wanted, we could add another X, and I think it could be bigger. But that's up to you. I'm going to keep it like that, though. I kind of like it. Awesome. All right, make sure you had that there. Perfect. Let's do the next one now. So we have the welcome text. Now we need the item section. So let's go ahead. And I think that's also an ID. So hashtag item dash section. Open that up. And we're going to give it some padding top, of course. And we're going to make that padding top. I'm just going to do a 10% for that one. And let's go ahead below that. We're going to give it some padding bottom. And I'm going to make the padding bottom a 5%. All right, and below that, we're going to do a text align center. Perfect. Below that, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a background color. And we can use this one. I think the top one, we have the hashtag 38444D that matches the top. Perfect. All right, and that was for, if we scroll down, looks like it still might not be editing it. So let's go ahead, double check that we got the right name. We did item section. So if we scroll on down to our item section, ID, item section. So we added an S. So let's go ahead, just add that S. There we go. Perfect. And I think that's good. Yep, appetizers, we got that there. I wonder if we could change that appetizers to white. Scroll on down. We have the word, what do we have, the word appetizers there somewhere? ID, just appetizers. Looks like we didn't give it a name. Section header, oh, we did. Okay, let's give that name. I think we have that, yep. Let's go ahead, give it a hashtag, and we're gonna do section dash header. Open that up. Let's go ahead and give it the color white. There we go. And then below that, we're also going to go ahead and give it a font family. And I'm going to make this one again, the Verdana, that one. Perfect. All right, I like it. Now I think that's it for the section header. So let's go ahead and add another one. This one here is going to be for the food pics, so dot food pics. Open that up. Inside of there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make all the heights the same. So we're going to do height, and I'm going to put 220 pixels. And then we're also going to go ahead and give it a width as well. And I'm going to do 100% width for that. Wherever it is. There we go. Awesome. Save that, and it should be the same for each. Nope, looks like we got the name wrong. It might just be food pick. Let's double check. Scroll on down to our food picks. Should be in there somewhere. Where is, did we not give the class? Oh, it looks like we didn't give it the class. So let's make sure food picks. So simply to add that, let's go ahead and copy that. Let's scroll on down to each food pick. This is going to be the images. Go ahead, give it a class. Paste food picks in there. Let's do that for each one. So class, food picks, and again, class, food picks, again, class, food picks, and again down here, class, food picks, and then one more, class, food picks. Save that, and we should have everything the same size, and you can customize this size if you want. That's completely up to you. I'm gonna have it for that for now though. I think it looks good. Awesome. All right, let's keep going. I think we only have about one more left. Let's go ahead and do the food item description. So dot food item dash description. Let's go ahead, open that up, and simply what we're going to do is just change the color of that to white. All right, and that should be now for each one. Perfect. I like it. Awesome. Yep. All right, go ahead and save that. Make sure you got all those changes down. Perfect. I will see you in the next section. Let's go ahead and review what we created. We created this simple website that we can go ahead and have multiple sections to. We have an appetizer section. We also have a full meal section, and then we also have a drink section. On the way top though, we have this nice little navigation button where if we click on it, it can go to appetizers, main courses, and also drinks. When we click on it, it will go ahead and navigate us to each section, as you can see. Awesome. Now, if you want to go ahead and host it for free, I would use GitHub. And once you're hosting it though, you can go ahead and right click on it and go to create QR code, and that's how you can use a QR code. You can also download that image and then print it out on things if you wanted to use this for an actual restaurant or something. Now, if you want to host it and you've never hosted it on GitHub before, go ahead and click on GitHub up here. Once you create your repository and drag and drop your code in, which is that index.html we just created, then what you want to do is go to settings over here, go all the way down to pages. And once you're at pages, you're going to have the ability to change this line here from none to main. Once you change it to main, after a few minutes, it's going to go ahead, pop up with your URL right here. Awesome. All right. Good job so far if you made it here. I will see you next time.